Everyone experiences pain in life, but very few people suffer for the reasons they think they do. Most individuals assume that their suffering is caused by the outside world, by people who hurt them, circumstances they couldn't control, or situations that didn't go their way. But the Buddha revealed a truth far deeper and far more unsettling: pain is inevitable, but suffering is a choice. Pain is what naturally happens when life unfolds. Suffering, however, is the mental story we attach to that pain. It is the resistance, the attachment, the refusal to allow reality to be exactly what it is. Life itself does not break you. What breaks you is your rigid grip on how life should look, how people should behave, and how outcomes should unfold. In this video, we will explore 5 harsh truths that may feel uncomfortable, even confronting at first. But once accepted, they dissolve unnecessary suffering and bring you back to clarity, inner calm, and emotional strength. Harsh truth number 1: no one is responsible for your happiness. This is one of the most difficult realities to accept. No one is coming to rescue you. Not your partner. Not your family. Not your friends. Not the person you keep hoping will finally understand you completely. Everyone you meet is already carrying their own burdens, their fears, their worries, their silent struggles. When you expect someone else to make you feel loved, secure, understood, or whole, you unknowingly place your happiness in their hands. And when they eventually fail, because they are human, you feel abandoned, disappointed, or betrayed. But the pain does not come from what they did or didn't do. It comes from the belief that they were supposed to fill a void only you were meant to heal. Perhaps you've lived this. You needed support, but no one showed up. You waited for someone to notice your pain, but they didn't. You hoped someone would stay, but they chose to leave. Each moment hurts, but hidden within that hurt is a quiet truth the Buddha taught long ago: self-reliance is the doorway to freedom. This does not mean shutting your heart or rejecting connection. It means realizing that happiness is created within you. Others may contribute to it, but they cannot manufacture it for you. When you reclaim responsibility for your emotional state, something powerful happens. You stop handing your peace over so easily. You stop waiting to be fixed. You stop collapsing when someone disappoints you. Practice. Whenever you feel let down, pause and say quietly, "My happiness lives inside me, not in their approval, their presence, or their behavior." This subtle shift changes everything. You become grounded. You become steady. And for the first time, your happiness becomes something no one can take from you. Harsh truth number 2: life will not go according to your plans. One of the most painful and liberating truths is this: life will not follow your script. Not because you failed. Not because you're unlucky. But because life is fluid, uncertain, and constantly changing. The Buddha taught that the root of suffering is attachment, not only to people or possessions, but to expectations. The moment you cling to a timeline, a dream, or a specific outcome and demand that life obey it, suffering begins. Think about what hurt you the most. A relationship that ended. A career path that collapsed. A future you imagined that never arrived. The pain was not only in what happened, it was in the distance between what you expected and what actually occurred. The tighter you cling, the more painful reality becomes when it moves in a different direction. But here is a truth few people accept: life's unpredictability is not personal. It is not punishment. It is not failure. It is impermanence, the natural rhythm of existence. When you soften your grip, something shifts. You stop fighting reality and begin moving with it. Practice. When plans fall apart, pause and say, "This too is part of the path." Then breathe. Unclench. Allow the moment to be what it is. Acceptance is not surrender. Acceptance is choosing peace over resistance. And when you learn to move with impermanence, life stops hurting as deeply. Harsh truth number 3: people treat you according to their mind, not your worth. One of the most painful illusions is believing that other people's behavior defines your value. But the Buddha taught otherwise: people reveal their own inner world, not your worth. Their actions reflect their level of awareness, their emotional wounds, their fears, and their capacity to love. not your deservingness. Yet we personalize everything. A criticism makes us shrink. Rejection makes us doubt ourselves. Distance makes us assume we did something wrong. But consider this. An angry person spreads anger. A fearful person spreads fear. A loving person spreads love. People give what overflows inside them. Criticism often comes from self-judgment. Rejection often comes from fear of intimacy. Coldness often comes from emotional ignorance. None of this is about you. Emotionally awake people detach not from love, but from the belief that their identity depends on others' reactions. Practice. When someone's behavior triggers you, silently remind yourself. This is their mind, not my value. This creates instant clarity. You stop chasing validation. You stop internalizing someone else's storm. And your peace returns. Harsh truth number 4, you will lose everything eventually. This is the most confronting truth of all. Everything you love will change or end. Not because life is cruel, but because impermanence is woven into existence. Every beginning carries an ending. Every bloom fades. Every chapter closes. We suffer not because things end, but because we expect them not to. Think of what you've lost: relationships, phases of life, youth, identity, even old versions of yourself. Each loss left pain, but also wisdom. You never truly owned any of it. You were simply allowed to experience it for a while. Impermanence hurts only when we cling. When accepted, it teaches presence, gratitude, and depth. Practice grateful presence. When you love, love fully. When joy appears, expand into it. Say quietly, this moment is a gift. I don't own it, I appreciate it. Loss does not destroy you when you stop resisting impermanence. It transforms you. Harsh truth number 5, your mind creates most of your suffering. Most suffering does not come from events, it comes from interpretation. The mind adds fear, judgment, and catastrophic stories. A delayed reply becomes rejection. A mistake becomes proof of failure. A challenge becomes imagined disaster. Reality is often neutral. The mind adds pain. The Buddha said nothing harms you more than unchecked thoughts. Emotionally aware people observe thoughts without becoming them. Practice. When your mind spirals, pause and say, this is a thought, not a fact. Then watch it pass like a cloud. When you stop merging with thoughts, they lose power. The mind becomes a tool, not a tyrant. Closing reflection. Today, we uncovered 5 harsh truths. Your happiness is your responsibility. Life won't follow your plans. People act from their mind, not your worth. Everything is impermanent. Most suffering comes from thought. These truths may sting, but they liberate. Peace begins not when life becomes easy, but when your mind becomes quiet. If this brought clarity, subscribe for more Buddhist wisdom and inner peace. And remember, the truth may hurt, but it also sets you free.